And the hardest part, trying to avoid somebody when they loop back in on right in front of you. Yeah.
Hey, is this thing working? Is this thing working? I'm trying to figure out if this is working because everything's all new and I can't see my settings because, yes, reasons. So I'm going to assume everything is working just fine. And if not, someone just needs to say something. And where am I supposed to go? Where am I supposed to go? Guessing follow the purple guy. Can you guys hear me all fine and everything? Because I'm just totally guessing at my audio settings and yeah, reasons.
Oh man, you can't do that.
Go left.
Apparently there's a wall there. Apparently there's a wall there, guys. Alright. Okay.
Are you guys putting the fourth gear on the front stretch? I guess like the start finish, or do you just?
No, because it doesn't hit the road limiter until you get to the turn anyway. So.
Alright, I gotta figure out this track because I haven't done a lap here yet. I don't even know which direction this track goes. No, this isn't my first time in this car. I've been doing a bunch of racing at Lime Rock as well as Olton Park. It's an absolute blast, just to be expected because Formula V is awesome sauce. This turn is tighter and longer than I thought it is.
Just a little kid.
Yeah, it didn't hurt too bad.
Well, I will say this Formula V, after driving the one in Automobilista 2,
Go left.
it's really kind of weird because it's just so incredibly stable. And it also feels like it's got no top speed at all. Not that this thing's ever going to be fast.
Like your paint job, Mike.
Feels like once you get up to like 80 miles an hour, it just runs into a
car
brick
ahead.
wall.
Car stopped ahead. Go right.
So right now we're in practice, and then we'll do some races. And hopefully figuring things out, because I haven't done any live streaming really at all for iRacing or anything like that. So this is all very new to me, and it's been a long while. But with the Formula V,
Slow car
it's kind
ahead.
of like, hey,
Go
you know
right.
what? I kind of want to do more races, and I need to give myself an excuse to do more racing. Let's give it a go.
Car stop on the left. Car stop on the left. Go right.
Contact.
Oh, sorry. There's no parking there.
This track is so freaking confusing. I don't know where. Oh god, what?
Car stop on the left.
What is this track?
You got a slow car on the left. Go right. Car stopped ahead. Car stop on the left. Go right.
Now, it's all fun and games when you know the track, but when you get a track like this where you've never done a race, it's just like, oh my god, there's too much carnage going on to practice. this is probably a third gear corner. Basically everything's a third gear corner. Turn in way later there. Alright, session starting, boys.
Look in the race.
Yeah, we're gonna need good luck in the race, although
You too, babe.
I'll say the race is always a little bit easier, because then you can just follow everybody else, and when they all die, you die too. Yeah, basically everything is a third gear corner. Formula V in a nutshell, pretty much. Although every now and then you get down to second gear, but the problem with second gear is it's such a huge gap between third gear and second gear. You have to be so careful getting into second. Just going back to the comments here. This is really hard to read because it's on second monitor really far away and I'm pretty much blind. What wheel do I use? I still use the Fanatec Club Sport version 2 with the old Formula rim. I basically use the Formula rim for everything, even though I have a full-size rim, but never use it for anything. Like, honestly, total waste of money, to be entirely honest, but it is what it is. No, you do not have the option to switch between a long gearbox and a short gearbox. And no, we are not using the pencil livery. I have my own livery. The pencil thing is fun, but I'm not one of them meanie boys. Good news is I think I got turn one kind of down. Of course, saying that, just going there way too fast. So like, oh crap, we're hosed.
Right side. Clear.
That's the problem with a car like this. If you get in too quick, you're pretty much just along for the ride. You're committed to whatever mistake you made.
You got it. Slow car on the right. Car stopped on the right.
Remember, decreasing radius, decreasing radius, decreasing radius. Oh my goodness, there's a bigger space between the corners. I hate this track. I hate this track so much. I so hate this track. I mean, part of it's because I still learning the layout and everything, but it's just, it's like long corner after long corner into long corner. It's just, all the corners look the same. It's like, come on, please. Alrighty, boys, it's qualifying time though. Sticker on pole right here. Okay, there's more space. There's more space between the corners. More space between the corners, but you can't carry that much speed in there, apparently. See, this is what happens when you do a live stream in a car track combination that you've never driven before, you just totally embarrass yourself. 40 miles an hour, that's second gear territory, but I think you're just going to be so sure.
Green flag, green flag.
On gear left, that's just not going to be worth it. So it must just be
Okay, here comes your first
third
time
all
lap.
the way around. Okay, that's okay. Too much power. Okay. Yeah, this track, man. This track. Nürburgring's more straightforward than this. Come on. Like, every corner is just so awkward.
One more lap.
Alright, see, we're third. We're only 5/10 off. Got this. Might as well give us the dub. There we go, that was better. Okay, apparently I was slower that lap, but I feel like that was way better of a lap than the previous one, so I'm not quite sure.
Checkered flag, checkered flag.
I'm not sure how we went slower on that lap, guys. Might have been that corner right there that did us in. I do like that corner though. For whatever reason, I really think after driving this car as well as the Spec Racer, one of the things that I think I gravitate towards these cars within iRacing is I just have a better feel for them. And when you get them just right, whereas in GT3 cars or whatever, I can never get that nice feeling of being right on the edge.
Non, non, tu peux te taire, mon ref.
It's like I did a spec racer race a few nights ago, and you can just fly it on in there. Is at Interlagos a few days ago, and yeah, you're totally out of control, but you can feel how to keep it in control, and you know when the car is going to break away. Whereas in a lot of the other stuff, I just don't have the same confidence. Oh shoot. Oh shoot. Forgot where I was. Am I still using a VR headset? No, not really. I still have one. Yes, I still have the Oculus Rift. I don't use it all that much. I did a video kind of explaining why that is. So, let's see here, just checking in on comments and all this stuff. God, this is really weird. That lap was quicker than pole. I don't think. Oh my God. Oh my God, there's so many guys not qualified. What's going on here? Willpower got shafted. Yeah, Chevrolet screwed him over. Honda Bros before Chevy Hose. Remember that. All right? Remember that. But yeah, he did get screwed over, but I mean, that's just how it goes. It's okay, they will all wreck. Oh yeah, definitely, 100%. I'm interested to see how this plays out though, because for example, Lime Rock was a complete and utter draft pack race where you literally do a whole lap without even using your brakes, and that's just normal, which is not what I expected. I wonder how this track is going to play out, because this is my first race here, so should be interesting, because Lime Rock was absolutely nuts. Olden Park was nuts as well, but Lime Rock was a whole new level. Like, we were going 2 and 3 wide regularly. Me and a few other guys ended up going 3 wide into turn 1, and somehow we all came out the other side, and you just give yourself the virtual pat down, and you're just like, is everything still attached? Everything still where it's supposed to be? Anyways, let's get the race going. I'm gonna go ahead and launch her here.
Green, green, green.
We got Banana Mobile behind us. We got bananas behind us. No, no!
Car hit. Car on your left. Clear on the left.
You remember what I said about when you get into a corner too fast in this thing, and you're just kind of like, yeah, pretty much that.
Car on your left. Clear on the left.
This car is basically like turn 2 at Mosport, Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. That feeling you get of when you just go slightly a little bit too far, you're like, well, I have made a mistake.
Slow car ahead. Car
Sucks
stop
to be
ahead.
me. Yeah, pretty much this.
You got a slow car
But you know what?
on
The
the
car's
left.
fine because apparently these things are pretty much entirely indestructible. Just trying to make a more interesting race. Entertainment.
Right side. Clear on the right. Car on your left. You got a slow car on the right. Clear.
Pull it
Car
go
stopped
here.
on the right. Go left. Go left. Left side.
Really, that
Clear.
corner's a little dangerous. It's a little dangerous, boys. So we're following this cigarette mobile. Tracks over here.
Go left.
Not over there. Tracks over there. Well, that was eventful. Hey, we didn't die through turn 2. Oh, easy. There's cones everywhere. Nope.
Go left.
Nope.
Go
Banana
right.
peels. Got banana peels out here. And suddenly we're in no man's land. Just like that.
You're back in fifth.
Bring up the relative. Usually I don't use the relative in the race just because it's just kind of distracting, but I'll use it as a learning opportunity here because we're kind of... We got a guy 6 seconds up the road, we got a guy 4 seconds behind, so you know. Not going to be a whole lot going on in this one. Guess we'll figure out how to take this freaking corner that just never feels like you get it right, apparently. Probably because I suck at driving. Alright, see, I kind of sort of know what I'm doing. Famous last words.
Car stopped ahead. You got it, slow car on the right.
Yay, someone to race with. There we go. That slaps your puss down into the 25s. Where was that in qualifying? Yard sale. What the? I don't know what just happened there.
Right side. Clear on the right.
We were like sideways. We must have hit a bump or something, because I know this thing's got absolute trash suspension, because, you know, Volkswagen Beetle, but all of a sudden the car just basically hopped. It's like, yep, we're dead. Rip. I felt like we definitely had it all saved
Car
up and
stop on the
everything,
left.
and then it just doink. And we just got a 2X there. Didn't feel anything. Just throwing that out there. Didn't feel anything. Car's still fine. Got a 2X. Pushing the limits, boys. So apparently there's a big old bump right in the middle of the track here. So just be warned. I enjoy this car a lot.
Car right. Still there. Clear.
No! Corner. Remember, friends don't let friends late Apex. Early Apex, right? Isn't that the same? I don't know. Don't have friends.
White flag. One more lap to go. You're in 4th position.
Alrighty, we got a race. Remember, corner at the bottom of the hill. Super late Apex. Even later than you think. Apparently you really don't need to brake there.
Car right. Clear on the right. Car right. Clear. Right side.
Whoa!
Clear.
We're not clear. We're not clear. When the spotter says clear and you're just counting on it, and then you realize, oh wait, that's not gonna work. We should get on there.
Left side. Car stop
Alright, we
ahead.
speed shift.
Keep to the right.
Yeah,
There's the flag.
we got him.
It's
Wasn't
over.
even close. 7,000.
Officially the
Great
most
job.
fun you
You
can
did
have
really
with your
well.
clothes on, I think.
I have no comment on it. Good race, man. I have no comment to that.
Good race, Matt.
I mean, not even close. Not even close. Alrighty. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and hop in another one. And apparently, my car's heavily damaged. But I'm going to go ahead and quit out of this one. We'll go ahead and jump into another one. I'm going to go ahead and try and pile back through comments through here. We're loading up and everything. Fortunately, this being week 13, everything is just full on rapid fire. Alrighty, get back in here. Let's see here. Do these cars have radial tires? Yes, they're using R 888Rs. They buried it in the forums. So I don't know. I guess it depends on which version of the Formula V they're going with, and they've said that it's kind of a mix match of everything. So I don't know. This car's probably got too much grip, judging by what some people are saying on the forums, but it's still a heck of a lot of fun. And that might also be a case of, there was another guy that commented that he drives Formula V out at Watkins Glen a bunch, and he's like, yeah, here in iRacing the bus stop is flat out, but the top speeds are also 15 miles an hour lower, so you know, apparently there's something aerodynamically. One of the staffers commented that they had a patch in the work to reduce the amount of drag that the car has, and then it kind of got pushed back temporarily because there was a bug with it. So, but in terms of Formula V versus skips, just a second here. There we go. All right, sorry. because I'm playing on 2 different screens, it gets all glitched out and whack. And I'm not really prepared fully for a stream as much as perhaps I'd like to be, but you know, sometimes you gotta learn by doing. How do I feel about Formula V versus skips? Well, guys, how do we feel about Formula V versus skips? How do we feel? How do I feel? I am strongly in favor of cars like the Formula V and the Spec Racer over the Skip. The Skip is a great car. The Skip is one of the best things in iRacing, full on. I'm not saying the Skip is bad. It's just with the Skip, I don't get the same type of feeling that I get with the Formula V here or the Spec Racer, where I have just a much better feel when I get it into the corner too hot and what I can do with it. You know, even though it hasn't really shown in this stream, but whereas the Skip just kind of feels like it just goes. It's more stable, and I don't enjoy that as much. I really like the stupid amounts of liftoff oversteer that the Formula V and the Spec Racer have, and I feel like all 3 of those cars all just kind of fall into very much the same category, even though obviously, you know, the Formula V here is, you know, you'll be lucky to crack 100 miles an hour. You know, the Skip and the Gen 3 Spec Racer that we have now will definitely do over 100 miles an hour here. But it's the same type of racing experience and the same type of driving experience, so it's like I like the racing that you get more with this car, because I like the shenaniganry, the draftage, and the pack racing and these types of cars. And again, that's not to say I don't like the Skip, because that's obviously not the case, but grass is slippery. Grass is slippery. Although I will say I am kind of disappointed this is a rookie series once it goes live here at the start of the next season, which is going to make it for an absolute bloodbath of a series, because the way these cars race on, you know, certain tracks, I don't think it's a rookie series. Yeah, it's a rookie series, and it should be a rookie series, don't get me wrong, but in the grand scheme of things, the type of racing itself is not the type of racing I expect to work well with rookies. And there's a lot to say. There's a lot to say in the sense that I kind of feel like all 3 of those cars, again, being very similar, I don't know why iRacing has all 3 of them. I don't know why they made this car, to be perfectly honest. And obviously, if you've ever watched any of my Automobilista videos, you know, Formula V is a car that I like because it is, you know, in that same vein as like the Spec Racer Ford, you know, where it's a slow car and it's all about the quality of racing, and, you know, it's got goofy handling traits. But for the environment, I just don't know why iRacing would need 3 cars that, from a practical aspect, very much behave the same. It's kind of like we don't need, you know, how many different Formula 3 caliber cars, essentially. I'm not the guy in charge. One thing I do want to ask is, everything going fine with the stream? Again, I said this when I started, but now that, I don't know, maybe there's more people in here, maybe there's less people
Green
in here.
flag, green flag.
I can't see the numbers and anything like that because it's buried behind my game window because reasons. But
Okay.
if there's
here
anything
comes
wrong
the
with the
first
audio or
lap.
the video quality, please let me know, because I'm setting this up and I'm working on this because I do want to stream some more. Didn't touch the wall, just in case you were wondering. I do want to stream some more because it gives me a reason to play, and I need a reason to play, even though I very much enjoy this. It's one of those things. Because I have signed up to do the Weekend Warriors Formula V League, which they are an established league in the spec racer world. They have just big, huge grids, good quality racing. And I'd love to get in those races because I think that would be an environment that this car is absolutely nuts with.
One more lap.
Okay, Self, you don't need to dab the brake going into that corner. Ow!
Alright, there's the checkered flag.
Alrighty, let me see here. Volume needs to come up a little. You are quiet. Alrighty. Full volume. Up the mic volume. Alright. Things might get a little messy here. So just a second here. Let me go ahead and try and make this work out here. Can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me now? Alrighty. Whoa, it's foreign Matt. Hi, foreign Matt. Domestic Matt is not dead. And that is pretty sweet. Alrighty, I went ahead and bumped up my mic volume here, so we'll see how that goes. It's still quiet. Okay. See, because the weird thing is, with this mic, I have to turn the Windows volume way down to like 50%, because otherwise it just starts clipping like crazy. Even though it's not anywhere even close to my face, and it kind of drives me crazy, but Boosting the snot out of that. We are up. But the over volume is lowish. Yeah, this would be really easy if I didn't have to do this across like 3 different screens. No, I don't think it's an OBS thing, because I've messed with it, and even when I was recording not through OBS, I was still having issues with this mic and the way it sounds, and that the only way I was able to get acceptable audio quality was to go ahead and turn it all the way, well, not all the way, turn it to like 50 and the Windows volume, and then just boost the snot out of it in editing. So I'm still working on it. We'll go ahead and see how this works out once we actually start driving and everything, because I might have changed the mix ever so slightly, and then we'll go from there. Because ideally I would like to go ahead and get this all kind of figured out, and hopefully, again, reason to play, as well as do the Indy Fix strength of field races Monday nights, because that's a time slot I can actually commit to, and it's a car and everything that I obviously want to run and enjoy. So I would like to figure it out this weekend. Anyways, starting 6th place in this race. Once again, we're surrounded by white cars. It's probably my favorite part of week 13 is the fact that half of the grid is going to be in a white car, which just, it gives you that feeling of, yay, this is going to be fun, because no one's taking it seriously. Hence why nobody's even painted their car. But then there's also the, everyone's driving a white car. You know what that means. You know, I just hate sitting on the grid here for like a minute. Why do we need a 2-minute grid process? I don't know. I think they changed that a few years ago. Probably because they added qualifying, but...
Green, green, green.
Covered it off. He saw it coming. He's like, you ain't getting in that hole. That's what she said.
Car stopped on the right. Go left. Go right.
Heyo. Should have let me in. I would have been the guy to pile into the guy spun the other way around. All right.
Thanks for the dump.
Car on your left. Clear. Car on your left. Still there, hold your line. Clear on the left. Car stop on the left. Left side.
Okay,
Still there, hold your line.
okay, what?
Clear on the left.
There's a guy on the left. The 2 cars in front of me are the 2 cars for position. Car stopped ahead. Where'd that guy come from? Where'd the guy that was stopped ahead come from? Just forget which direction the track went, and I tell you, sometimes a spotter is just more hassle than it's worth, because they say things and you're just like, whoa, wait, what?
You're now in 3rd.
I do like that corner though. It's like the street circuit, kind of right in between the tire barrier. Remember, grass is slippery. Thing is, you got to be so careful with the curbing in this car because of the suspension just being garbage. It's like that hill where you just kind of cut behind the curb. Like, it makes sense, but it just feels like the car's going to explode.
Right side. Stay on the left. The next car's the leader. Clear, go left.
Woo!
Car on your left. Clear on the left.
Well, that was a perfect time to go for a pass, right? Where are you going, Lost Soul? Where are you going? Oh God, oh God, we're about to die. We are so dead.
Clear.
Okay, we're not dead. Things you always like to see, a white car off in the grass, lap down, just going wherever he's going. You love to see it. You just love to see it.
You got a slow car on the right. Go left.
All right, those guys are exiting the pits, so no drama there.
Okay, you're in second. The next car's the leader.
And of course, this is week 13. So for those of you guys who don't know, aren't familiar.
Car on your left. Clear on the left.
Okay, mighty bold. Cars are a lap down. They just
Slow car
basically
ahead.
race you anyways because no one cares. This is all unofficial. The points don't matter. It's all for funds. So you basically just treat everybody like you're all on the same lap racing for position.
Car on your left. Clear.
This is such madness. I love it.
Left side. You're on the
Gonna
right.
go ahead and go
3
yoink.
wide. Still there, still there. Left side, 2 wide. Clear on the left. Clear. You got a slow car on the
And
right.
dead. F in the chat. Getting F in the chat
You're in
for those
third.
boys. Howdy, cowboy. Remember, friends don't let friends early apex. That's what we learned here, all right? If those guys would have laid apexed, they wouldn't have been in a position to end up going 3 wide. in the corner, you know. And just like that, you know, again, we're in no man's land this time because everyone else is red. And there's that bump. So if you thought I was on drugs or just making things up, there, yeah, there's apparently a pothole in the middle of the track. Alright, we're just gonna kind of slow down here. Sweet 13. We're gonna chill. We're gonna wait for a battle buddy, alright? Alright, come on, Brian. You're the next victim. Let's do this. See if I can get literally every other driver in this race to wreck out around me. iRacing goals. This car is such a heap of fun, though. Okay, I'm coming around to this track finally. Finally coming around to it. It's still awkward as frig, though.
The next car's the leader.
Oh yeah. Just love it when you get it right in this thing. No, no, no! Ah. You know, we deposited it in the barrier there.
Clear on the right.
I just love how useless the brakes are in this car because there's like 3 corners that you can even use them at like 10% pressure. So how to save on consumables on your race car, just don't need brakes. You don't need brakes, then that's just one whole section of the car. You don't need to worry about maintaining and replace it. Well, he's kind of hanging in there.
Are you serious, dude?
God, that corner is so stupid bumpy.
One more lap to win.
Alrighty, just don't screw up. 1.3 seconds. 799. If only we can do these laps in qualifying. Really would like to get into a proper race though in this car around this track because I still don't really have a feel for how it plays out. The draft didn't feel particularly useful here, but it's hard to say because these races have had everyone dead in a lap and a half, so. Corner here, and we're home free. Guys, can the Formula V do a donut? Can it do a donut?
You won. Why did the others bother to show up?
You know, I was asking myself the same question. He wants to go for a draft race. All right, let's do this. See what happens. I think he's too far ahead. He needs to slow down for me. All right, he's slowing down. All right. Come on back. Come on. Let's do this. Right-hand oval racing in Formula Vs. No, you can't use the apron. That's against the sporting code. Guys, you need to go ahead and report Brian for violating the sporting code. All right. Brian, you're not allowed to use the apron. That's against the sporting code. I'm obviously joking. Obviously joking. I want to go back and see how we ended up taking the lead, that 3 wide situation, because that was just... All right. We do need to keep it quick here, that way we can get into another race here, but... All right, they all early apex. Remember, friends don't let friends, early apex. So, kind of screw themselves up. We just kind of chill back up in here. He just totally misses the corner, goes in too hard. Other guy crosses him up. He converts to the inside of the track, just goes flying past the corner, and then I think that might qualify as a 4 wide. I think that qualifies as 4 wide. Boys, that's 4 wide in the middle of a corner, all right? I don't care if this guy's way out here in the boonies just doing absolute nothing over here. We are still legitimately 4 wide in the corner. We're still 3 wide. They're running into one another. And... oh, this guy gets net coded. That's a shame. Okay, what happened to the other guy here? You never want to see net code like that. I mean, it's part of online racing, and that's why you can't race like you'd want to, but oh, he just full on forgets there's a corner there. He's like, hey, we'll just go straight. We'll just drive right through the corner, and yeah. All right, boys, you ready for another one? Because I am ready for another one. As long as I make it in time. 11 seconds. I have clicked the register button. Yes. All right, you are registered for session, awaiting assignment. Been assigned. Then let's see here. I'm just looking at the schedule right now. I know you guys can't see it, but I think the The schedule is gonna flip here in an hour or so. In which case, I know the Spec Racer. Right now, it's at the Spec Racer series is at Chicago, and I don't have Chicago, and I see no reason to buy Chicago at this stage. But the next track on the schedule for the Spec Racer is Red Bull Ring, and it's the short layout, which I am all in on. Like, give me some of that. But I don't know. I think we'll go ahead and this might be the last race. Maybe one more, because I want to watch the SRX tonight. Just because I want to see how that goes. So if you're going to watch the SRX series, go ahead and let me know what you guys think about that idea. Is it going to work out as a series, or is it just going to be like, why are we doing this? Do we really want to see these old guys who maybe one of them won the Indy 500 like 2 weeks ago? Because, you know. Red Bull Ring short, it is turn 1, and then there's a section that crosses over where the track gets narrow between the like inside and outside parts. And it's a longer right-hand corner, and then you basically go through like the last 4 corners of the full course. So it's kind of like just the bottom rectangle portion of the Red Bull Ring, and it is a fantastic short circuit layout. Like, honestly, I like that short circuit perhaps more than the full circuit. It is so great in these types of cars. Gear. Yeah, Red Bull Ring short and Formula V's in Automobilista 2 is definitely one of those combinations of yes. Run a Porsche Cup car there, and it still works out just fine.
Slow car ahead.
Hey, it's the guy from the forums with like 8,000 billion
Right
posts.
side, clear.
Now has far fewer posts because of the new forums in iRacing. And let's be real, everybody knows him as the iRacing forums guy, right? Some people chose to make their name based upon streaming. Some people chose to make their name based upon YouTube. Some of them chose to make their name based upon highly skilled driving. He chose to make his name on the iRacing forums. And you know what? I can't fault the guy. You know? I prefer the AMS 1 or AMS 2V. You know, honestly, the AMS 2 Formula V, when AMS 2 first came out and all that, it really didn't get me going in the same way. And I think it's partly because, realistically, Automobilista 2 going to the Madness engine rather than going from, you know, the ISI P motor stuff that had been around forever, and everybody knew all the ins and outs with it. I just don't feel like it was a car that was particularly tweaked all that well. But then, somewhat recently, I ended up getting into it just kind of on a whim, and I'm like, wow, this is so much better than it used to be. So I would highly recommend that you give the Automobilista 2 Formula V a go if you haven't recently. Just throwing that out there. Not that it's necessarily your question.
Green, green, green.
But I do think the Automobilista 1 Formula V is probably better.
Here comes your first time lap.
But when I go back and drive Automobilista 1 now, even though Automobilista 1 is not bad, it's not terrible, it's still very good, it's still a very good package, because of the fact that it is on that engine, which is now a very old engine, even though it's been tweaked and massaged and it works really well and it doesn't have issues in terms of quality and quantity, like I just can't get into it to the same degree now that we've kind of moved past that with all these other sims as they've matured and they've finally kind of gotten past the stage of being eternal science projects that 3/4 of the stuff doesn't work right. Now only half the stuff doesn't work right. But I do think the Automobilista 1V probably is better technically. But I don't know if I necessarily enjoy it all that much more anymore. Although that said, it's still Automobilista. Pedal cam died. What?
One more lap.
What? That's a shame. Almost as much of a shame as the 1X that invalidated my lap time. Tried Automobilista 2 Racing USA DLC? No, I have not. I honestly haven't really done any sim racing for 2.5 months. Just kind of some stuff going on. Just been really super mega stressed out. And because of that, I've just not wanted to play. Which I'm trying to break. Although the idea of Long Beach at night in the rain and like the Formula V10, the Formula V10 Gen 1, you know, the 90s car, sounds very appealing to me.
Checkered flag, checkered flag.
Alrighty. Well, yeah, 25-8. Not bad. Alright, pedal cam died. Okay. Alright, here. We're gonna do some rocket surgery. Second, things are gonna get glitchy. Things are gonna get glitchy. Hopefully I don't break the stream. I am about to break the stream, just so you guys know. Did that work? Apparently disconnecting and reconnecting does not work. Alrighty.
Safety requirements. All tire racks and jacks kept inside the garage area, not out on the lane.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it's broken. It is broken. Alright, I can't figure it out. We're gonna toy with overlays here and just gonna go ahead and ditch the pedal cam because I've tried plugging it in, I've tried unplugging it, and I don't know how to fix it beyond that. So it's weird. Well, that is unfortunate. Mic a bit low. Yeah, the sky in Automobiles 2 is one of the wonders of the world. I would agree that Automobilista 2, that the Madness engine in general, like, you know, people complain and complain and complain about the Madness engine and this and that, and it's like, honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that it was tied to Project Cars and Project Cars 2, it would not have the reception that it has. And I feel like that's just sim racing as a whole and the way things work. Where, like, honestly, you know, I'll flat out say it, iRacing has driven like junk, you know, for probably 75% of the time that it's existed in a vast majority of cars, but yet it's the most popular racing sim around, and it's not even particularly close outside of maybe Assetto Corsa, you know, so you know, it's just like, you know, there's people bitching about liftoff oversteer and how, like, oh, this isn't right or this isn't right. And it's like, you know, I come from a time when, you know, a lot of people were playing these games with a freaking keyboard, and that was normal. You know, I've come a long way. You know, at the end of the day, it's still gonna be different. It doesn't matter. I don't know.
Good luck.
Anyways. It's like... Alright, hopefully we'll get a good race, though, because we got guys that are faster than us. I know Oscar Hardwick. I know he's fast. We got the form guy. He's in the back because, you know, he's the form guy. Again, not hating at all. But let's get the show on the road. Hopefully this will be a good quality race where more than 3 cars will survive turn 2. I know I am really out there on a wing and a prayer, but hopefully it works. Many serious people rate physics over graphics, and that definitely had some serious issues in AMS too. I mean, you're right to step back and give some perspective. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't not rate physics highly, but at the same time, you know, you're still
Green.
driving a desk. You're still not having G-forces. Like, it's just silly. It's the same thing as the people that, you know, several years ago it became all the rage to put a $300 Momo steering wheel on your freaking Logitech G25, and it's like, what are you doing?
Right.
Like, that's a freaking joke.
Keep to the left. Clear.
Like, it just looks silly. Now you know my true feelings. Sorry, you know, it's just, you gotta keep some perspective of what you're doing and how much does it really matter. All right, fortunately more than 2 cars survived turn 2 here. See what we got here. See how this one shakes out. This might be the best race of the day, hopefully. Might be calling it a little early. Might be a little premature, but...
The next car's the leader. Nice and smooth, you're running second.
Got understeer going on there. this guy behind us is that guy that we beat by 7 thousandths of a second. Absolutely crushed him. All of a sudden, week 13 got very serious. All of a sudden, week 13 got very serious. $25,221 PB. Like I said, week 13. Get serious. Although I am nice to see, nice and happy to see that this isn't a draft track, because I kind of thought this might be a draft track based upon Lime Rock and Olton Park, but definitely not the case here. $25 flat. All right. What's going on with it here? This car is so much fun. We might need him to make a mistake to close up the gap a bit. $24.8. I don't know if these are good lap times, but they're significantly faster than our other lap times, so. I feel like these can't be bad laps. Can't believe this guy is still in front of us like this. I mean, I can, because I'm obviously not the fastest driver around, but we've not seen anyone going this fast here in these races so far. It's like, wait, time out here. There's a whole nother level. definitely hanging with them, though. Mistake will be right there with them. Couple tenths on us that lap. No! Ah. Week 13, why are you so serious? You're so serious, week 13. Well, he's definitely pulled the gap now. Alright, bring up the relative. And he made a mistake.
Let us go.
Alright, turn the relative off. Smash the tab key. Just don't know how he's able to make that tighter line work there. Closer than ever.
You just got the white flag. That means one more lap to go.
One lap. Half a second-ish. Left here. Well, it was a good race, though. It's good to have a serious race, you know? Good race, David.
Yeah, good race.
Checkered flag, checkered flag.
Not necessarily the most exciting thing, I'm
Great
sure, to
job.
watch from you
You
guys'
did really
perspective,
well.
Good race,
but,
guys. Couldn't catch him out.
but at the same time, you know, that's, you know, yeah, you're driving to the best of your abilities, you know, and that's what the fun is. How fast was this guy going? .24.65. Alright, if someone want to look up that guy's iRating, yeah, go ahead. But, I think that was all in the mail. Alright, I'm going to do one more race. This will be my last race of this stream. And then, hopefully we'll go from there. Should probably end it on a high note. That'd be the smart thing to do, but, you know, it's the worst thing that could happen, and it's still Charlotte, so apparently the schedule flip isn't for another hour or whatever, so. That guy had a 9.4K iRating. If that's correct, like, holy schmoly. That's a lot of iRating. I mean, it's week 13. I'll be entirely honest. I'm the type of driver that I think week 13 is right up my alley because nobody practices and nobody takes it seriously. And I don't practice or take it seriously all the other 12 weeks. So it kind of like levels the playing field back. It's like, oh, hey, you're not doing 3,000 laps. I'm not doing 3,000 laps. Now we're on equal footing. Not that there's anything wrong with that, and I'm not complaining, but, you know, it's just the reality. I mean, I don't play this all that much. Like, I don't even race enough, where even if I was that good legitimately, where I'd even end up with that much iRating. But we're going to go ahead and do one more race here. I'm loading up to the practice. See him every week in Weekend Warriors. Well, you know what? I look forward to that because, to be entirely honest, I am absolutely hyped for that series because I think the regular iRacing series is going to be an absolute mess. But I think this car, especially on some of the bigger tracks, you get this thing in Road America with 60 cars, it is going to be the most nuts racing you will see in iRacing on a road course. And that is exactly what I'm here for. It's exactly what I'm here for. It's kind of funny. I absolutely hate pack racing on ovals because it's just terrible. But on road courses... courses. Alright, let's go ahead and mainly farmed it and spec racer. You know, people talk about farming iRating and all that stuff and iRating per car, and it, again, it's kind of one of those things that just makes me giggle where people pretend, you know, like you can take a guy with 10,000 iRating, and I guess that's probably a very specific group of people, and you can put them in a car that they've never driven before. They're still going to drive better than a guy with, you know, 3,000 iRating in that car type. Because at the end of the day, the guy with 10,000 iRating knows what he's doing beyond just, you know, I'm very good in this particular car because this is the car I drive. I don't know. iRacing ain't ever gonna listen to someone like me. That's for sure. Heck, I did a whole video with like 2 weeks of research about whether or not the top split is actually cleaner, and it turns out the top split actually isn't cleaner, and yet people still want to dispute it and pretend that the top split is cleaner when, you know, maybe it's not actually the case, and it's just something that we keep telling ourselves because we feel like better drivers are cleaner. And they generally are, but, you know, it's not so black and white.
You got a slow car on the right. Car stops on the right. You got a slow car on the left.
It's
Car
like
right.
at the end of the day,
Clear on the
drivers
right.
who are fast, like take a guy that, for example, has 3,500 iRating in GT3 cars, you know, but he's probably reasonably fast, you know, racing in a competitive series. If you stick him into an MX-5 or a Spec Racer Ford, yeah, it's 10 miles away from,
Slow car ahead.
you know,
Car
driving a
stops on the
GT3
right.
car. It's
Go
absolutely
left.
nothing the same in terms of driving and the driving style, but,
Right side. You're in the middle. 3 wide. Clear on the right.
you know,
2
you
wide.
have to at least be
Clear on
able
the
to make
left.
smart enough decisions as we just get
Left side.
murdered.
Clear on the right.
So, you know, it's like you're not, your life is not a number, all right? Your iRating is not a number. You're just gonna watch this guy in the yellow car just you know, stick that Formula V up the backside of my Formula V, and then I'm sure there's a joke in there somewhere, but we won't go there. Yeah, apparently we do got bots in chat. That's great. Might need a moderator. I keep braking for that corner. Just wish this car had a little bit more oversteer to it.
Green, green, green.
Because I feel like I pushed too hard with it, and I know I
Okay,
shouldn't,
here comes your
but
first time lap.
because of the way it gives up into understeer, like I just get too aggressive with it. No 0x, we're good. just hope people actually drive this after week 13. Because I really do enjoy this car as much as the Spec Racer. But the problem is the Spec Racer just, you know, it's a great car. I enjoy it.
One
The
more lap.
updated version of the Spec Racer, by the way, if you haven't driven it, you need to drive it. If you absolutely could not stand the Spec Racer beforehand, because it is miles different than it was beforehand in terms of the lift-off oversteer. It's still there. It's still a defining factor of the car, but it is a lot easier, and there's 0x, so our lap is invalidated, even though we didn't hit the barrier. It's a load of BS, so be it. But the thing is, the Spec Racer, you know, you'll get grids of 12 cars, and the races happen every 2 hours, whereas the Skip, you know, you get 6 splits, and basically every single time slot, every hour. It's just like, it's hard to compete with that, because splitting is the thing that makes iRacing work, and splitting is 100% dependent on participation. So that's why, even though I don't like the Skip as much as the Spec Racer, it just works out for me much better, because you generally just find a much better quality race where you're battling with 2 or 3 guys as opposed to one other guy that maybe happens to kind of be roughly about the same pace. Well, the new Spec Racer being easier, yeah, maybe we'll see a resurgence. Although I doubt it,
Chicken
because
flag,
let's be real,
chicken flag.
who actually wants to race the Spec Racer? Not many. Zero X again. That barrier. That's a load of BS. Okay, I've done that 2 laps in a row, and I am not Formula 1 caliber driver here. Okay, if I'm getting that close to the barrier, that means that you got an issue with your collision boxes. Okay, iRacing, fix it. No excuses. Give me ghost 0Xs. Come on. The first SRF race of the week normally has 2-3 split. Yeah, the thing is though, the first... See, it becomes a problem because the strength of field race for Indy Fixed is that first time slot as well. And then the series is kind of... It goes downhill from there, so like, I end up racing that generally on Monday nights, which is what time it is here. I don't know where you're from, but because the week changes here Monday at like 6:15, 7:15, or what have you, and yeah, I mean, the Spec Racer is a great car. There's a reason why I enjoy it as much as I do. It's just the series doesn't have the same participation that I'd like to see. I'm so disappointed in IndyCar today. Why are you disappointed in IndyCar today? You know, I got a couple people on Twitter coming at me being like, oh, it was BS, manipulated. When Grosjean stuck the car in the wall, there were 6 laps left. That race was going back to green. It isn't IndyCar's fault that Will Power's engine did not start. All right? Great. Now my steering wheel is all not centered. Like, races can have restarts at the end of the race. That's totally fine. That's racing. You know, like... Unnecessary red flag. I think, honestly, that can be a discussion. I think that's more reasonable than the people that seem to be annoyed that what happened with Will Power. But at the end of the day, red flags with 6 laps to go and a caution have been pretty much normal. And honestly, I would much rather they take the time to go ahead and actually properly clean up the incident than just try and get out there in an instant, hurried up, because they're going to be rushing to get the race to finish under green, which is what everybody wants, and honestly every racing fan should want, and I don't think that's unreasonable. It's not like we're asking for green white checkers, which are absolutely atrocious, and I will die on that hill. But I think they did absolutely the right thing, and you know, I can understand the red flag aspect a little bit, but at the same time, you know, the only reason it becomes a point of discussion is because Will Power's engine lit out because, again, Honda bros before Chevy hoes, even though Honda had several issues in the 500, but we'll not talk about that, right? Because they couldn't get a safety truck alongside. I think they could have gotten a safety truck there, just right behind, because there's an opening in the wall right back in that corner. But like, honestly, at the end of the day, the race was already red flagged for an hour with what happened with Felix. So it's just like, you know, I don't know. I'm just glad NBC didn't stick IndyCar on CNBC or something like that. I mean, it's bad enough we missed the start because of lacrosse, but I mean, I understand it. You know, that was the event that was finishing up, and it's fair. But as much as I don't like it, you know. Sharpening the pencil. Alrighty. Alright, last race of the day here. We'll go ahead and make sure we deselect everything just in case we need one of them faster pairs on first gear. 3,500 RPM is where I like to launch this thing because I end up smashing the gas pedal before the clutch.
Green flag, green flag.
Alright, hopefully this will be a great race. Just tuck in here. No need to take it too wide through turn 2. We've already seen enough carnage there. Whoa!
Go right.
He gone. We got David in this race. Maybe someone can get up there and hassle him a little bit and slow him down a little bit. This guy over there. Let's try and square up the exit.
Car on. Clear. You're in 4th position.
Apparently that didn't work out well. It's moments like that I really wish I had 3 screens.
Uh-oh. 3 cars.
Woo!
Left side. Clear.
Some target fixation there.
Car on. Clear on the right.
So what was that, buddy?
Okay, I just gotta ask the question here. Oh god, not the bump. Matthew Miller, 26? Yeah, 26? Either this guy's got a lot of multiple accounts, or apparently Matthew Miller is just about the most popular name in iRacing.
You're now in third.
David's just going to drive off into the sunset again. I mean, come on, doesn't it get boring being that good, guy? You know? I mean, if you never have to pass anyone, what's the fun in racing, you know? Slow. That was a good corner entry, and that just didn't go. Pedal on the right. You got to use it. Come on, man. Remember, guys, week 13 is super serious. Just got here. What's his opinion on the car? It's a Formula V. There you go. You've been around this channel long enough that my opinion has any sort of validity or matters to you at all. Then you know that this is basically automatically going to be a win.
Stop the head. Car stop the
And
head.
it's a win.
Car stop the head. Car stop on the left. Go right.
There's 3 wheels on his wagon. Although I don't like the fact that this is going to be 2 races in a row. There's just guys that are just chilling out there, you know, faster. Although that gap has closed down a little bit. Between Mr. 26 and Mr. 9.4. Is those 2 guys up there to somehow end up racing one another, but I don't think that's going to happen because David's just too fast.
You're back in third. Keep hustling.
Zero X on exit. Felt the car kind of hit the tires on that one a little bit. on, number 26. You can do it. Find a way. Make this more interesting for me. Make it more interesting for yourself. Make it more interesting for David. Do it for everybody. Be a hero. Minutes left. Woo. I feel like 26 is getting closer to him. We're so far back that it takes some doing. Wobbly cone. Fast, man. These guys are good. All right, he's practically there. I will say I'm glad that I've kind of figured this track out a little bit better, because I have a feeling that this is going to be on the schedule for this car. Because it's a free track. Yeah, we're way out of it now.
Thank you.
You got a slow car on the right.
Not that we ever really had a chance anyways, let's be real.
You just got the white flag. That means one more lap to go.
Two X. I'll just say this car had like 20% more horsepower and about 10% less grip. Absolute riot. Greatest car in sim
Right
racing history.
side. You got a slow car on the left.
Maybe not really,
Clear on the
but
right.
when you add in the iRacing ecosystem and everything, if people actually were to drive it, it would be like the greatest thing ever. It'd be a Skip Barber. Pretty much. Although, honestly, the Skip Barber, this car feels grippier than the Skip Barber, but that's just because this car is slower than the Skip
Great
Barber
job. You did
by
really
a
well.
pretty sizable margin. I mean, this car won't even do 100 miles an hour by itself. I mean, outside of a really long straightaway. But, yeah, just a little bit more power, a little bit less grip. Skate around, you know. But hey, you know what? That's that. And it's going to do it for this stream. Hope you guys had a blast. Expect to see this happen more often, because it will hopefully happen more often. Reminder to those of you guys wearing headphones. The volume on this stream is apparently super screwed up. So you will want to go ahead and check your audio levels before clicking onto another video or stream or what have you. Just giving you guys that warning. Remember, headphone warning for the next thing. I'll try and get it figured out. Hopefully, maybe Monday night, might see in our stream as we go Indy Fixed Racing. That's kind of what I'm looking forward to. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. See you around. Bye.